In this video, I'll be demonstrating the search capabilities within the browser of TermHub. So I have my demo project open, and I'll go into the browser. By default, if you have multiple terminologies within your project, all the terminologies will be selected. To select and search only one terminology, you can double click, or you can click each one and unhighlight them, and that would search over just those selected terminologies. So let's just search over SNOMED CT US for now. So I'm going to double click that. To start, I can just hit search, and that's going to return me all of the concepts within SNOMED CT. I can then select one of them and then navigate the hierarchy here at the bottom and go where I need to go back up to the SNOMED CT root if I wanted to, or any other concept. But ideally, you're going to enter some kind of search results or search term here to search, and I'm going to go SARS-CoV-2 and press search. Doing that, I get a much smaller set of data. I'm only returning concepts with a phrase SARS, the phrase CoV, the phrase 2, and the phrase SARS-CoV-2. Obviously, that's a lot of concepts. I can do various things to refine that search, and I'll show you some of those. One of the things I can do, though, is just removing the -2, and now I'm only going to search over SARS-CoV, SARS, and CoV, and that's a much smaller set of data. I get up 503 items, so just making that one change can greatly affect my search results. Before we show you some of the options, one of the other things you can search for here is a concept identifier or code. If you know that, you can just enter that here, and it's going to return you some results. Obviously, the top result is the actual concept with that code, but it's also going to return you any concept within SNOMED CT that uses that code in some way, shape, or form as a value for relationships. Is a parent, so it's going to return you more results than just the single code. So let's look for diabetes now. In searching for that, I can see a smaller set, 2,000, roughly, concepts within SNOMED that have diabetes in them in some way, shape, or form, in the name or as a relationship. If I deselect the active, by default, we're going to search only active concepts, but I can search over active and inactive concepts. And if I redo that search, I'm now going to see some items here show up grayed out. So these would be the inactive results. I'll also see here in the details of the concept that they have inactive definitions and inactive names as well. So having that inactive selected or active turned off, I can now see inactive things in my results as well. Let's go ahead and turn back active on. The next search option, I'm going to use just ICD for this. So double clicking on ICD now selects ICD and turns everything else off. If I press search, I'm now seeing all of the items within, all the codes within ICD that have the word diabetes in them. Again, it's quite a large amount, and some of these are not billable specific codes within ICD-10-CM. So if I want to get to just those codes, I can use this leaf option. So leaf would only search for those things at the bottom of a hierarchy. In ICD, you can also use it in SNOMED. SNOMED has a hierarchical representation as well, so you can look at just the things at the bottom of a SNOMED hierarchy. But for ICD-10-CM, this is a really useful feature because you're really looking for those things that are most specific within ICD-10-CM to use for billing and coding. The next feature, the next option I want to show you is the highlight. So if I choose highlight, it's going to take this term and display and highlight the parts of the details here, the main title bar for the concept and the names that match that. So let's go ahead and turn that on, and you can see it highlights diabetes here and diabetes here. So if I choose another one, it gives you the highlight, what exactly is matching for that concept. So let's go back to SNOMED CTUS. So I'm going to search again for SARS-CoV-2. I'll turn off the leaf here and search over everything. The next feature I want to demonstrate is the expression or semantic type search, a restriction here. If I have an expression, a SNOMED CT ECL expression, for example, I can take that and enter it here and then search, and it's now going to restrict my search results to just things within the disease hierarchy in SNOMED. So this is a subtype of the disease hierarchy in SNOMED. So you can see I greatly limited it. Instead of 9,000, I have 2,500 items that are returned. So if you are a terminologist or a user who knows SNOMED CT ECL and you maybe have some pre-built ECL expressions that you want to enter, you can enter those here and use those to restrict your search results. If you're not familiar with SNOMED CT ECL, you can use the semantic type. So if you do this drop down here, I can choose, let's say, disorder, which should give me similar results to the subtype ECL expression. If I want to search over multiple, I use a semicolon and I can enter another semantic tag or semantic type, and it will further. So now I'm getting 3,200 results instead of 2,500. So this is a much broader search over findings and disorders. One last feature that will help you restrict the search results and further refine them that I'd like to show you is this special syntax we built in. This is not fully documented yet, so I'm going to give you a couple that are pretty useful that exist right now. The first one is the name. So if I enter name, colon, and then enclose this in quotes, it's going to search over only those descriptions and concepts in SNOMED where SARS-CoV-2 is in the name. So I see SARS-CoV-2 here, SARS-CoV-2 viremia detected, and so on. So it's going to search just the names. If I have an exact expression that I'm only searching for and that's all I want to find, then this name syntax is a very useful one. The other one is the code. So if I only want to return a single code and I don't want all of the codes, I can use code, colon, and then the code that I'm looking for. So instead of returning 13 results, I'm only returning 1 in this case. So probably not as useful, but it is something that you can do to further restrict it. Again, the special syntax is not fully developed yet. We're adding new features as we go. As more features come out, I'll update this video to include those additional special syntaxes. The last thing I wanted to show you is the search results itself. If I select multiple terminologies here and search, it shows something a little different. It adds this terminology column so that you can easily see which terminology it's coming from. So if I'm searching over multiple terminologies, knowing where it's coming from is pretty important. But if I remove that, then that column goes away. It's just a way of clearing up the search results so it's a little easier to view. But if you're doing a search over multiple terminologies, this is a pretty useful addition to that search results. The next thing is you have the ability to select more than 20. By default, we set it at 20, but you can go up to 1,000. You'll just have to scroll. So if you're not really seeing what you're looking for at the very top of the search results, you can do that, or you can use the pagination here at the bottom and go through multiple pages to find what you're looking for. Lastly, if you want to export the search results and use Excel or Google Sheets to view the results and filter and search within that, you can. If you click this download button, it will download an Excel spreadsheet for you. So as you see here, here's our export. I can filter that and just look at the ICD-10 things. I can look at just the SNOMED CT things. I can use filters to do other queries and things like that within the spreadsheet. The one thing I will say about the download is if your search results are over 100,000, you'll have to do something to bring those search results down below that. This button is grayed out if your search results are over 100,000 items. So that's one limiting factor of the download. This was the search results features within the TermHub browser. If you would like to learn more about TermHub or see additional features that are available, please visit our YouTube and documentation pages to learn more.